these are two little people who enjoyed using the tent trailer. Was it fun using the tent trailer in the summer, kids?
Yeah.
I'm glad to think that. Do we want the tent trailer to go bad over the winter?
No.
That's right, so we're going to winterize it. So here's the tent trailer.
Me falling down?
I am not sure if I got that or not. So here's the tent trailer we're going to be winterizing. It's a 2007 Fleetwood Utah. So when you're winterizing a Fleetwood Utah, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to come under here, and underneath this you can actually see, just over here, you can see the water tank. You want to, there's on the bottom of that, there's a little drain plug. You undo that, let all the water out. Next thing you'll do is you'll move towards the front of the trailer, and you can see under this two little pipes with switches on them. Switch that to drain all the water out of the pipes there. So this is the hot water heater. You'll take off the front here, come down here, and you'll need to remove that fitting with what I believe is a 1 1/16 inch wrench. I thought that this would be drained without removing it. I was wrong. I drained the entire system. I'd run the pump. I figured that the water tank was dry. But when I removed this, the entire tank was full. So this is the back of the hot water heater. You can see the pipes here already have pink antifreeze in it because I've already winterized it. You're going to begin, when you prepare this winterization, by turning on the turning the bypass valve, so it allows water to go through this bypass switch straight through here, or antifreeze rather, to go through here without going through the hot water heater. When this switch, and you'll do this at the beginning of the season, is turned like so, it will actually allow the water to flow through the tank into the tank, whereas when it's turned like that, it won't allow it to flow into the tank. So you'll leave it like this, or you'll turn it like this for the purposes of winterizing. One of the pieces of advice in the guide was to simply pour the antifreeze into here. A lot of the how-to sites say don't not to do that, it's a waste of antifreeze. I found the same thing. I put a whole gallon of antifreeze in there, and there wasn't enough in the tank to actually make it into the pump and out of the taps. So what I found was the better method is to go inside, remove the panel that covers the pump, and have the antifreeze sucked directly into the pump out of an antifreeze bottle. And I'll show you how to do that in a couple of minutes. So you need to take off the front panel underneath the slide out in this 2007 Fleetwood Utah. This is the front panel down here. Okay, and you can see at the top of this, in the aluminum track, there's 4 screws. Those simply screw into the floor of the slide out. You take those out, and then this whole front panel will pull out in this direction. Okay, so you can pull this whole front panel off. As you can see, I've now removed those 4 screws, and the front simply pops off. So this is the area with the cover panel removed. You can see poking out from that is a water tube. If you go down and look inside here, you will see a bypass valve. When I tried this the first time, this water tube wouldn't suck up any water at all, it just stayed the way it was. What you have to do is find out where that water tube joins into the pump, and in this particular tent trailer it joins up just back here, and there's a little switch that will turn. You can see it there. When it turns, it will, now it's flowing water directly into the pump. When it's turned like this, it will turn on this bypass valve. So rather than sucking water from the tube in here, which goes to the water tank, if you turn the bypass valve as it is now, it will actually suck water directly through here. So if you put this into your winterizing fluid, your pink RV antifreeze, it will simply suck it up straight through this. You'll know if you're doing it right, because the moment you turn on the water pump, this will turn pink and it'll suck up a lot of water into it, or a lot of the antifreeze into it. The antifreeze you use is simply plumbing antifreeze. Regular antifreeze, you know, the stuff you put in a car, is poisonous, it'll kill you. Plumbing antifreeze is pink. Sometimes it's called plumbing antifreeze, sometimes called RV antifreeze, but it won't kill you if you drink it, it'll just taste bad. So this is what you actually put that little tube that goes under the front panel. That's what you put the tube into. So I managed to make this video after I'd already winterized it, but after you have taken off the front panel, after you've put that tube in the antifreeze that goes directly to the pump, you simply turn on the pump switch, which is down here. You then, the pump will then, you should see pink go from the pink antifreeze fluid go from the bottle into the pump. You then turn on the taps here, and you should see, after a few seconds, pink antifreeze come out. Once you're done everything, you pour the rest of the antifreeze down the drain here, just to make sure there's antifreeze in the trap, and that will make sure that your trap doesn't freeze. Before leaving this area, I'm going to turn the bypass valve on, and so what that will do is in the spring, when I turn this on, it will simply suck water directly out of the tank. Once you have run the taps inside and seen the pink antifreeze coming out of it, you'll go round to the outside shower unit, do the same thing there, run those until you see pink antifreeze coming out of both of the hot and cold taps. What I then did is I went back to the front of the tent trailer, and I went down underneath here again, and I undid those two taps again underneath here to make sure that I saw pink antifreeze coming out. You can check to make sure that there's antifreeze throughout the course of your system just by going through and making sure that everywhere inside underneath the tent trailer you can see pink in those water lines. If you look underneath the tent trailer, you will see pipes like this running out. You can actually see that pipe there is pink. That's because it's got the RV antifreeze in it. So fill up your, that's what it should look like when it's been winterized. The last thing I do before closing up the tent trailer is, there was a year when we had a tent trailer out when we actually had some problems with moisture buildup over the course of the winter due to condensation inside the place where it was stored. So what I do now is I put a desiccant inside the tent trailer. That's the little black thing there. There's a chemical in the top of it that basically sucks the water out of the air and drops it into that catch tray. Periodically during the winter I will go and empty that out, and the idea behind that is to make sure that we don't end up with a lot of moisture buildup in the trailer. So one of the last things I will do is I'll remove the battery. It's not rocket science, you just unscrew the two battery terminals there, take the battery inside. Batteries don't like the cold that much, it'll be better off stored inside. Well, we're all done. You want to make sure the tent trailer is away completely dry, no moisture inside whatsoever. If it's at all wet, you'll find you get mold in the spring, so make sure it's completely dry. We're all winterized now, should be good till spring.